Hello and welcome. My name is Andrew, and this is the Who Dat Discussion, a New Orleans Saints podcast where we talk about all news, opinions, and reactions of the New Orleans Saints. So, before we begin, I just want to thank everyone who supported us by watching our first 5 episodes now, and just means so much to me, guys. We're pretty popular, only 5 episodes in, but we're still growing. So, if you want to share this podcast, please do that. Friends, other Saints fans, family, whoever you really can. And also, please follow us on Twitter at the Who Dat Dis. You follow us on Podomatic, also at Who Dat Discussion, and also subscribe to both our Google Play channel, which is the Who Dat Discussion, and our YouTube channel, which is the Who Dat Discussion as well. On YouTube, please leave a comment if you have a question, or just want to say how good this podcast is, or how we can improve this podcast. That'd be really helpful too as well. And also, hit that notification bell and give us a like and that thumbs up. So, with all that being said, let's get into some training camp news, because this is where it all begins. Yesterday was the first practice, and we really got into it. We really learned a lot. The first week, you saw that all the players back on the field, offense versus defense. You saw who's starting, who wasn't, where the battle is going to be. Where positions are solidified. So we're going to start though with some injury news just straight up off the bat. So first, we'll start off with the physically unable to perform list. And there are 2 players, both from the offense. So, we're really looking at it. These 2 offensive players are, they're kind of maybe not as important as some other players, but they're still important, especially in the blocking aspect. So first, we'll start with the tight end, Hooman, who, he's a great blocking tight end. And I think we kind of need him for this season. So it's going to be big for us to get him healthy and ready to go for the season. The other one's Brandon Coleman. For me, it's really kind of tough for Coleman, as he didn't really have a good 2017, and now he gets kind of like a step back as he starts on the physically unable to perform list in training camp. That's also going to give other options to guys like Traquan Smith, the rookie, and other wide receivers. And then now we're going to look at the healthy but still limited. So that's Cameron Meredith. He's not on the PUP list, which is really big. And, he's on just, he's good to go. Maybe a little limited by Peyton, but, he would play if it was the first game of the season now. He's coming off that ACL tear last year. And, to me, this is going to be a really big year for him. 2016 was a good year for him. We thought 2017 was going to be a big step up for him. Bears fans thought that. But now, 2018, he looks like he's right back to that 2016 form. And it looks like he'll be probably even better than that. Andrew Speeds, he's coming off that broken fibula. And he's key to the offensive line. Allows everyone to play at the position they're most natural at. So he's a really big player for that. He keeps the depth very, very high as well. And then also Alex Okafor coming off the torn Achilles. And he's going to be competing with Davenport for the defensive end 2 spot, as going opposite Cam Jordan. And he was actually started there today, so he actually got the starting role there. But he's still a little limited. But to me, he's going to be a first and second down type of player. And then Davenport's going to come in for the third down pass rush. So now the fully healthy Marcus Davenport, he had thumb surgery and during minicamp, it was after. And now he's fully healthy and ready to become a difference maker for this team. To me, he's ready to go. He showed his physical attributes yesterday. Made some nice plays. So I think it's really big for this team. So to him, if he can get, I told you, 5 to 10 sacks, that'd be really, really big. And then Cameron Jordan is also fully healthy. He had minor foot surgery during the offseason, but now he's fully healthy, coming off a career year with 13 sacks and that triple-double of over 10 tackles for loss and 10 batted passes. So, to him, he's obviously the key to this defense, captain of the defense, best player on this defense. So we're going to need him to be healthy if our defense is going to be successful. So that's all the injury news. We didn't really have that much injuries. And we'll go on that by what we learned from the press conferences by Sean Payton and GM Mickey Loomis. So, injuries aren't that bad. You're looking up and you only have 2 physically unable to perform players. That's pretty good coming out of training camp. Not many teams are coming into training camp. Not many teams have that. So this was really good injury news that we didn't have as many. So on to now our starters and basically who started and how they looked in drills. Because even though I didn't watch it on TV, I saw people were posting videos on Twitter basically all day, and I got to watch them, analyze them, and I really saw every player and how they really looked. So first we'll start off with the starters on offense, and it's going to be QB, obviously Drew Brees. So he talked about in his press conference his new helmet he'll be using because his old one is actually now banned. So hopefully that doesn't really get into his psyche a lot and he's be able to be just as good. It shouldn't. And what he said was he wants to achieve some goals in 2018, very lofty goals that he's never really accomplished in his career, or maybe has only once time, like a Super Bowl. So he said, I want these goals, and it's going to happen before, the end of his career. So he's really saying, this is this year, next year, Super Bowl or bust. And that's really big for us, saying that he's really talking Super Bowl. He's ready to go. And to me, that's very big for our team. So, and also he threw a great deep ball to Traquan Smith in the beginning, and they're getting chemistry together. So he's getting the chemistry with new guys, Meredith as well, and Gim and Michael Thomas like last year, and obviously our running backs Ingram and Kamara. So that gives us a segue to Ingram and Kamara. So it looks like they were splitting carries just like last year. Some actually got some second team, both kind of split both ways, and it looked like they were having fun as always. They were rocking out to some music. They even got Drew Brees to get into rock out and get hype a little bit for some music. So that was kind of fun. And then Mike Thomas, so there's kind of little injury news on it, but then it actually ended up being nothing. So first, in the very beginning of practice, he left with the trainer, but then he ended up coming back and playing, and he was just fine. He actually made some very nice plays, highlight reel plays, so that was good. And again, there wasn't really much on him. Healthy coming in, he's ready to get on to that next step. And then Meredith, he was the big guy in the slot. He looked great. His route running ability is really good. He's catching passes with the Breeze. They never had a disconnect early here, and it looked like he's really ready to go. He was running fine, clearly. So I think that's really, really good. And then Traquan Smith. So he started with the first teamers as a rookie because Brandon Coleman's on the PUP list, so he couldn't play. So he's really given a chance. He's getting a chance to catch passes from Drew Brees and really show what he's got. And to me, he's exploiting. He's been really good. He caught a great deep ball pass. He juggled a little, but then caught it. And, he's explosive speed. So he's going to be a really good player, I think, as well. And then looking at the tight ends, we didn't really see much on the tight ends, but we saw, Ben Watson and Josh Hill out in the two tight end set. Ben Watson's he was running routes, and he'll be the number one pass catching. And Human is going to be on the PUP list to start training camp. And then the O-line. So to me, there's a lot of O-line news as well because speaking on basically everyone they spoke on. So Armstead, Loomis spoke on him, but he's really looking forward to a bounce back here. This is a huge year for him. If he can't bounce back here, maybe the Saints will look to trade him, try to get his salary cap a little more down because this is, if he's not going to be healthy, $13 million is not worth it for him. And I think he knows that. If he stays healthy, to me, he's a top 5 O-lineman, or left tackle, And now, to me, we're really going to need him to be healthy and hopefully maybe have a full season. He has only had, I think, a full season once in his whole league. So in his whole career, So it's going to be really pivotal for him to get to the next step, kind of, and be healthy. Can he be able that person? Because if he can't be healthy, I don't think he's going to have a job in this league for long. And I think the Saints know that. I think, Mickey Loomis knows that. And the front offense, I think Sean Payton knows that. And I think he knows that. And I think other teams know that too. So they're not going to get much for him trading him anyway, so it'd be really tough. So, just for the Saints' sake, I really hope he comes up and has a great year. He definitely has the talent, and now I'm just hoping that he's got, the health so he can bring it to the next level. And then Andrews Pete, so he's coming off the broken fibula, and he's not on the PUP. He's definitely a little limited, but they're going to be cautious a little with him. But, he's key. He's a real key to this offensive line because if he gets hurt, then that really changes everything around, But if he stays healthy, because then you have to plug in the left guard position, and, it's a little more difficult for us. But if he's healthy, everyone can play their normal positions. Our depth gets a little higher, so that's really good too as well. So to me, that's really big for him if he's healthy. And then Unger, we have Sean Payton saying that, he's the most unsung hero on this team and that he's so happy to have him. And I completely agree with Sean Payton. He's really the unsung hero of this offensive line. He's so steady. He's been great online. And, his chemistry with Drew Brees with snapping the ball has been great as well. So, to me, he's just a great player. And then we look at Walford coming off that Pro Bowl season last year. He's healthy and he was really a good free agent signing back in going into 2017. And then Ramczyk, he's looking to add to a great rookie year, and he's healthy, and he came back, he looked good, getting more snaps. Obviously, last year, this time training camp, he was a backup, but now he'll be able to start. And just overall by this offense, everyone was healthy, or basically everyone was healthy. No real starters weren't healthy. I mean, Brandon Coleman's like a fourth wide receiver, and Human's our third tight end. So everyone's really healthy, and everyone's building chemistry together, especially Brees to Meredith, Brees to Traquan Smith. There were some great signs there early in the first practice. And to me, I just want to just say that I think Traquan Smith's really making the most of his chances, and I could see him maybe surpassing Coleman here. So on to our defensive starters now, as that is our next topic, and just we're gonna go through just how they looked in the first practice, and all of their people are injured, coming off injuries, and just a synopsis going into training camp and what we saw from the first practice. So Cam Jordan, he's coming off that minor hand surgery, but he's fully ready to go. He's got a new haircut, and he's just looking to get have a better 2018 than he was in 2017, even though he had the triple-double in his mind. That's what he calls it, the triple-double. So, that's, to me, he's really good. He's going to, he's obviously our key to our defense. I mean, any Saints fan's going to say he's really good. To me, he's a little undervalued, I think, by some teams, and some teams don't think he's as good as, some other pass rushers, but I think, he's definitely a top 3 pass rusher in this league. Hands down. So, defensive tackle, there's kind of battle going there for, there are 3 players for 2 spots, and I think they're all, good players. So you have David Onyemata, who is healthy, and he was looking to develop more into 2017, get more moves, be a little more disruptive, because he was disruptive sometimes in 2017, be a run stopper. Tyler Davidson, he's going to be more of a run stopper to kind of Onyemata. I think he could do a little of both. And then Rankins, he's the 3rd defensive tackle, and he's definitely going to start. He's healthy and looking, he's trying to make that 3rd year, jump and to be a really, really good player. As much as he's a starter now, to me, to become like maybe a Pro Bowler, I think this is where he can do it. I mean, he's got all the intangibles now, it's just got to put it onto the field. He's not like he's been bad over the last 2 years, but this is where he really takes it to the, Pro Bowl level. And Onyemata, if he could take that 3rd year step as well, but he's just learning more, and as much as he learns every year, he's only just going to get better. And that's the same with Davidson. I mean, going off, I think it's really going to be Rankins and Onyemata and Davidson go back and forth depending on the packages and stuff like that. I think that's really what we're looking at for this team. And another position battle for the defensive end position opposite of Cam Jordan, that's going to be Alex Okafor and Marcus Davenport, our first-round pick. Okafor was with the first team since flashed, had some really nice plays, and looked like he was fully healthy, fluid motion, ready to go. Looked like the Achilles weren't bothering him. And same with Davenport. He really played with the second team. But he did show off his physical abilities during that second team, because the second team defense played really, really well. There was a couple of high-rate real plays with Alex Anzalone and Chris Banjo. But we're just going to focus on the starters here. But there were a couple of nice plays. Toe tap interception. Anzalone looked really good, but he was with the second stringers. But now on to our linebackers. First, A.J. Klein. He started. And also Teo in the middle, and then on the Will side, it is Demario Davis. So first we'll start with Klein. He's coming off injury, but he's fully healthy, no problem. He had the groin injury in 2017, but he looks really good and just looks like if he could stay fully healthy, he's going to be good. But just, you look at it, he does have that injury problem, and so this is really a good transfer him to, condition and train so he doesn't have that injury problem. And also, it's playing with other guys, playing with Davis, because Klein's really, he's usually the guy that calls the shots and stuff. He won't do that anymore, so now just getting used to his different role. And I think the really surprising thing was Manti Teo. So to me, this was a reward for to show off after he had a great 2017 in my mind, because he would shoot gaps and just blow up running plays. To me, he was really good. To me, he popped off the screen in 2017, especially on some plays in the goal line. He played really good in that Falcons game on Christmas Eve. So he had some really good stretches, and I think he's kind of getting rewarded that play middle linebacker. And to me, he can do it. He's extremely talented. I remember him coming out of Notre Dame. He was like not Heisman. He was a Heisman candidate there because how good he played with Notre Dame. But now I think, he definitely has a talent, and, he stayed healthy last year, so I think he's ready to go. And if he could, be a really good as he was in 2017, that's good. And, obviously, I think Anzalone in the long term, should really be able to take that role. But if he can stay healthy, if Anzalone could stay healthy, he may not be able to in Teo. He's a veteran presence, and he could definitely play middle linebacker. And then Demario Davis, he's going to be playing Will linebacker, and, he's extremely versatile. So, he can play all 3 positions, so he's just going to play Will. He's going to be the shot caller. He plays. He's hopefully going to stay healthy. He has stayed healthy for basically his whole career. He's just trying to get chemistry with his new team, and he's, you just look at him. He has a presence on the field while watching practice. So to me, that was a huge upgrade for us, and I think that was a really nice pickup by Mickey Loomis. So, also, I just wanted to add some, back for the linebackers, some other players. I think Anzalone, coming off the injury, he looked really, really good, fast, ready to go. So, if he can play more than 4 games like he did last year, to me, he's going to be a great player. So, now on to our back-end starters. And first, we'll start off with Marshawn Lattimore, our cornerback number 1. To me, he's ready to add to his 2018. He was saying, prove him right. That's kind of the slogan for us this year. And he was really preaching that Thursday. And on Wednesday he said it too, but, he said it during the first practice. So, also, just look at for him, he looked good opposite Crawley, just getting more chemistry with a couple of our new guys on the back end. So, to me, he's going to be a really good player, and he obviously, and just build off that Rookie of the Year status in 2017, and hopefully could become more than a Pro Bowler, just like one of the shutdown corners, him and Ramsey in that group. And then Crawley, the cornerback 2, opposite him. So this is kind of like making that 30-year jump. To me, he can make a jump. He's a good 2, but I want it to become. I think he become a low 1. As our 2 corner, at least be a high 2. I really think he can do that. He's physical, and he's really is a. He's not. He usually doesn't catch a lot of picks, but he's a good player to bat balls away. He's high points it really well. It just doesn't have the best hands. But to me, if you bat it down, you make an incompletion. That's very, very good. He had a lot of pass deflections. He had just as many tackles as Lattimore, so, he had a good year, so just trying to build off that. Marcus Williams, he looks ripped and ready to go. He's faster, stronger, and just to me better, just looking, he can play like center field on the safety position, but he really did that last year, and to me, he's going to look to really overcome the Minnesota Miracle. And then, on like that strong safety position, it's going to be Von Bell and Coleman to me. They'll split time, but to me, Bell will get more playing time. Coleman's going to be really that nickelback safety, and corner, but both. But, to me, they can play together. Coleman, he had some nice plays, and he really provides leadership for this team, and Bell looking to make that third-year jump as well. So this is kind of a pivotal year for all those second-year going into third-year players. But now just to give an overall for this defense, to me, they're all healthy. Everyone's healthy. All our starters are healthy. We have 10 out of 11 starters coming back. The only person that's new is Mario Davis to me. He's going to, bring this locker room even closer. And, once he learns this defense and learns how to play with everyone else, it's going to be a huge plus for us. And, just see this defense getting back in the groove. And just as general, just getting chemistry together with everyone else, more chemistry, and really becoming a family. And continue that success they had in 2017. And just staying healthy, because it's just, right now, we're pretty healthy. So just right now, some teams aren't. Some teams, I know the Giants, their cornerback, Sam Beal, who they got in the supplemental draft, already had an injury and may be out for the season. But, so for us, just stay blessed, give up the prayers to stay healthy. And to me, I think we can be a really good defense here. And now I just want to give some special teams news and some miscellaneous news. So first, Will Lutz made all his kicks, and Morstead, he looks healthy and ready to go. He was good in practice as well. Obviously he's been working out really, really hard. He posts Twitter tweets every day coming up to countdown into training camp and all the workouts he was doing, so he looks in great shape. Mike Westhoff returns as the Saints special team coach, and he also had knee surgery in the offseason, but now he's ready to go. And it looked like the returning group for the first practice was Kamara, Ginn, Tommy Lee Lewis, and a rookie Boston Scott. So you kind of see where everything falls, and just some miscellaneous things. So Taysom Hill took the QB2 snaps, and what I saw was that he was good. Looking at his mechanics, they look pretty good, clean, smooth, and he hit all his passes. He never had a extremely inaccurate pass. He hit some tight windows, so he looked pretty good. To me, I think he could be a viable backup for this team. JT Barrett, he took the QB3 snaps and looked some good, some bad. He definitely has some issues with accuracy and just mechanics in general that he kind of worked through. It's an undrafted free agent position that he's in, so he just sit back this year, practice squad, and try to get better. I think he could do that. And Tom Savage, who's supposed to be really the second QB, left practice before he could really get into these snaps, so that's a little concerning for him. But to me, I think Taysom Hill's better, so to me, it's not that big of a deal. Also, Boston Scott looks solid coming out of the backfield and catching passes to a JT Barrett. He had some great hands, and he had some nice stretch runs. And also, this is Shane Vereen and New Saint and Terrence West, were also out there as well. So Vereen signed a 1-year deal with the Saints, which is, we didn't talk about it last week, so I'll just go over a little of it. To me, it was another deal like Wes, high reward, low risk. And to me, you're looking at it and can't really go wrong. He's a very versatile player. He catches balls out of the backfield. He blocks very well. So to me, all those attributes that Vereen has will just help this team. And if he really can't help this team, we could just cut him. There's no guaranteed money. So to me, it's a really good deal. And just, if he's kind of like the backup to Kamara, and Wes is kind of the backup to Ingram. So I think having these 4 backs is actually a really smart idea by Sean Payton. And, they looked pretty good in their first practice as well. Vereen caught some passes, and he had some nice blocking assignments I saw. And Wes, he had some nice runs as well. So just looking at that, those players looked really good. So now on to some. So we have one question this week, and it was about training camp, just about the press conferences from Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton, and this was from Who Dat Fan 94123. So just to transition to that, so here's his question. He said, "What was the most important storylines from the Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton press conference?" So first, Payton, he said that the slogan for 2018 was "Prove them right," which a lot of players were saying that. Lattimore was saying it. Kamara was saying it. Prove them right. Coming off just because now a lot of people are on the bandwagon. Now prove those people that they are right, and that we are actually a really good team and ready to go to the Super Bowl. Both Loomis and Sean Payton did talk about adding Vereen and Terrence West, and they said that these players are very good. And that, they're very good depth for this team. So you look at it, Vereen in 2017, he had, 44 catches, over 250 yards with the Giants, and they were a very bad team. So 2016, he was better. He had 5 yards to carry, and he also didn't have as many receptions. So last year, he had more receptions. And, the year before, he was better running the football. But just looking at it, he's been really a good receiver, especially with the Patriots. He won a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots, so that's really where he, excelled. So, can he do something like that for the Saints? Yeah, I think he can. Just in case someone gets hurt, he's good depth. And he's going to wear number 35 for the Saints. And then, Terrence West, they also talked about him. They said he's kind of like the backup to Ingram. He has a similar running style to Ingram, fight for every yard and just kind of burst out of a hole. And, they're going to give him a chance to, get Ingram's role in the 4-game suspension for him. And I think he could be really good as well. He had some really nice years with Baltimore and Cleveland and, those teams. So he had some solid years. They weren't the best, but he can come in and be good and a good, backup to Kamara. So I think that could be solid for them. They don't want to give Kamara too many snaps. They said that too. They want to keep him fresh and ready to go. So they also said, that there weren't many injuries stated. So that's just, good. That was a big, thing for us. And just saying that everyone's healthy. Everyone's here. Everyone's healthy. Especially last year, we got injured a lot. Even though we were good, we had a lot of players injured. But now everyone's fully healthy and ready to go. That's really big. And Loomis said that this is going to be an important season for Terron Armstead as he looks to recover from, many nagging injuries over, the last couple of years. He said he's a great player that had some unfortunate injuries, but, the Saints are paying him a lot of money over the next 4 years, and this is a pivotal year to really see what they should do to cut him and just, cut the losses, give him the guaranteed money and, stop, or do we, keep him because he's really good talent and, see what he's got, and, they're keeping him this year, see what he's got. Hopefully, if he stays healthy, plays 16 games, he's going to be a really good lineman. He is extremely valuable, and he's got great attributes. He's a good lineman if he just stay healthy. Hasn't been able to do that last couple of years, so, the best ability is availability. If you really can't do that, that's not really good. But if he can come and play left tackle, 16 games, he's going to be really good and protect Drew Brees' blind side because, he's extremely athletic, and he moves really well, and he's a good blocker, too. He's good technique, so that's really big for him on the line. And so, just that's, again, he's the kind of player that he kind of makes everyone shift around, makes Ramczyk probably moved to left tackle, Pete would probably move to right tackle, and that's just something that's a lot of moving parts, and it's tough to do. And they also talked about position battles, Payton and Mickey Loomis. So first it was linebacker, so you have kind of 3-4 guys for 2 spots, and that's AJ Klein, Manti Te'o, Craig Robertson, and Alex Anzalone. To me, I think if Alex Anzalone's healthy, gets better, I think it's going to be Anzalone and AJ Klein. If Anzalone's not healthy, not playing as well, not coming off the injury well, I think Te'o will step in there. Robertson, to me, is just a good backup just in case any of those guys get injured. He's a sure tackler, just not very athletic. But to me, that's just whoever's going to play better. I think you're just going to play the hot guy, especially coming into the season for a win-now team. Send on to another position battle they talked about, and they talked about defensive end, opposite Cam Jordan, your defensive end 2 spot. And that's going to be between Marcus Davenport, Alex Okafor, and Trey Hendrickson, they said. So if he really surprises people, he can definitely make a big leap, and he can maybe get a couple of snaps in there, especially injuries. So, they're looking to, improve Hendrickson and really for him to become a good player in this league and a good pass rusher. They think, he could be good depth. And, as we saw in the first practice, it looks like it's going to be Okafor, with the starters to start, and Davenport kind of like a third down guy. And just, pin his ears down and pass rush. And also, just one more statement that Loomis said, his eyes popped, quote unquote, when he saw how many long-term deals guys were getting, especially like Gurley and a couple of the Rams gave out. So, big contracts for, the Saints are going to have to give those to Kamara, Mike Thomas, and Lattimore, one day. So this is, for him, he's trying to weigh it out where these players fall. All of them really want money. You see Michael Thomas, he's always saying about how he's happy other wide receivers get money. Same with Lattimore. Kamara really hasn't talked about it, but I bet he wants his money too when it comes to that point. It's still a couple years away, but it's definitely something that Loomis brought it up. So he's definitely on his mind. So that was really from both press conferences. Both are really good press conferences, and they're very optimistic onto the season, which is always good. This is a year they feel like they're gonna go far in the playoffs. Feel like it could be a playoff year again. So just you see that atmosphere in this training camp. So I just want to say a big thanks to Who Dat Fan 94123 for the question. And now I think it's time to wrap up this podcast. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, who has enjoyed this podcast, who's followed us on Twitter, followed us on all the ways you can listen to our podcast, And, if you enjoy this podcast, please follow us. If it's your first time watching, just please follow us on at the Who Dat Dis and Podomatic at the Who Dat Discussion on YouTube. We are the Who Dat Discussion, and on YouTube you could please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on future Who Dat Discussion videos, which will come out every Wednesday. I know this is one late because I'm just coming back from vacation, so I'm just trying to get this one out as quick as possible. Also, we are on Google Play. You can subscribe to that. We are the Who Dat Discussion on there as well. And we're also trying to get on iTunes. We're still trying. I said that we're going to try to get on a couple weeks ago, and now we're still trying to get on and just get confirmed on there. So hopefully by next week's episode, we will be up on iTunes as well. So that's really exciting. So if you want to ask a question to be answered on the show or suggest a top 5 or position breakdown as training camp goes on, tweet us at the Who Dat Dis, email us at the whodadis@gmail.com, or leave a comment on our YouTube or Podomatic videos. So also, just as I said earlier, if you like this podcast, please share it. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it on YouTube to other YouTube watchers, and just anyone that likes Saints football. Please tell them to check out our podcast. That would be extremely helpful for me and just trying to grow this podcast because this is only our 6th episode. We're still extremely small. But also, I just want to say, thank you to the Who Dat Nation for watching all my videos and just, be able to connect with fans. I always say this every episode, but it's just a great time to connect with fans, connect with Who Dat Nation, and just, to get other people's opinions. That's really, nice because I, can't always get everyone's opinion, coming from New York. I can't watch all the local stuff and stuff like that. So just, making this be able to connect with other fans, it's just a blessing for me. And then just honestly, I'm really excited for this training camp. I can't wait to see it with, pads with practices, with pads, and just, to get really ready to go. And just, for the first preseason game, it's only, 2 weeks away. And, to me, that's extremely exciting for this team because I think we can really be a good team in 2018 as we were in 2017. And I just really can't. Injuries, obviously. If we get injuries, we're not going to be as good. But, I see guys also taking a step back. But I just can't really see that with this group because we're such a hard-working group and they really want to win, especially after last year. It looks like they're determined to win again. Prove us right. And that's, the slogan this year. So I think that's going to be new outro is going to be something like, who dat and prove them right, because that's our slogan coming into 2018. So I think that's a kind of a fun thing to do. So with all that said, I want to say prove them right and who dat.